How Maslow's hierarchy of needs leads us to feel unfulfilled. Most likely you've heard of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It is a famous theory created by Abraham Maslow that purports to explain the actions and motivations of humans. However, have you ever considered that Maslow's hierarchy of needs may actually explain why so few people ever fulfill their purpose? Maslow's hierarchy of needs explains the motivations of humans, but ironically, it may also explain why so few of us ever reach our purpose. I would like to call this phenomenon Maslow's irony. According to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, humans have various types of or categories of needs. Among these categories, some categories of needs take precedence over others. Therefore, people tend to go through a process of satisfying their needs in a particular order, with their lower, more base needs being met before their higher, more spiritual needs are met. For example, if someone is starving and does not have any food, they will likely first satisfy their desire to find food before they worry about a higher need like going to church or meditating. Depending upon the interpretation of Maslow's work, the needs are generally split up into either 5 or 8 categories of needs. However, the most common interpretation of Maslow's work tends to have 5 distinct categories of needs. The first category is physiological, meaning these needs include food, water, warmth, rest, and other immediate needs related to the body. The second category is safety. This is a need for security, safety, and protection. It makes sense that safety is the second category, as both the first category, physiological needs, and the second category, safety, deal with the immediate maintenance, protection, and care of the individual. And only after these basic needs are met would an individual start to address other, less immediate needs. The third category is social. This means a person needs family, friends, intimacy, trust, and acceptance. The fourth category is self-esteem. This category relates to self-respect and gaining respect from others. Finally, the fifth category is self-actualization, which is deemed as the realization of one's full potential. If you stop and think about Maslow's hierarchy of needs and really how it affects our lives and our decisions, then you will soon realize the conundrum of what I call Maslow's irony. And by irony, I mean this, that what we all desire is to fulfill our purpose, but that we only seek our true purpose once we reach the final stage of Maslow's hierarchy, known as self-actualization. However, by only seeking our true purpose during the last stage of Maslow's hierarchy, known as self-actualization, we create an inauthentic life for ourselves. After all, let's imagine our lives through Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We start off life with a purpose. This purpose will lead us to self-actualization and fulfillment. However, we quickly forget about our purpose as we have all these various psychological and physiological needs that take precedence. First, we need to satisfy our immediate needs of food, clothing, shelter, etc. We need to satisfy our physiological needs. Therefore, we focus on what makes us the money necessary to obtain these items. We don't think to ourselves, what is my purpose? Or how can I use my life purpose to get food, clothing, and shelter? Rather, we think to ourselves, what offers me the greatest probability of getting the most money in order to satisfy these needs? After our immediate needs are met concerning food, clothing, shelter, etc., we begin to worry about our future physiological needs, namely the second category of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We worry about security and safety. Therefore, we worry about having the proper health care, or moving to a better neighborhood, or saving for a rainy day. Therefore, we start to look for yet a better job, and we focus on trying to change our careers to make yet more money in order to afford the things that bring forth security. However, when we focus on making more money, we focus on what is most pragmatic to achieving this goal. And we once again ignore asking ourselves, what is my purpose? After our immediate needs of food, shelter, safety, and security are met, we move on to our third category of Maslow's hierarchy, namely our social needs. Now that our immediate needs are met, we begin to select our jobs or advance our careers or choose our professions based upon what our family approves of, what our peers approve of, or what we believe will attract us the most or highest quality romantic partners. We don't ask ourselves, what is our purpose? What career will bring us fulfillment or self-actualization? Rather, we ask ourselves, what career will my parents approve of? What career will be respectable to my friends or my peers? What career will impress a potential romantic partner? After we have a career that not only satisfies our food, shelter, safety, and security needs, but also wins us the approval of our family, friends, and potential romantic partners, then we begin searching for our fourth category of Maslow's hierarchy, esteem. We therefore, in an effort to gain the respect of the community and ourselves, strive to climb as high as possible in the career we choose. That career we choose for food, shelter, security, and the approval of family, friends, and romantic partners. We strive to climb as high as possible in that career in an effort to gain more and more respect. We buy items that raise our status in the community or within society, all in an effort to gain the respect and admiration of society. And when we finally do reach the top, we then move on to the fifth category of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, self-actualization. We begin to ask ourselves the more important questions about life. We search for deeper meaning, for authentic expression. We ask about our true purpose. We seek to be our true selves, the way we were designed to be. And upon reflection, what do we find? We find emptiness. We find doubt about our life choices. We find regret. And why? Because we built our lives around satisfying the lower categories of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, when what we wanted all along was self-actualization. But we never asked ourselves about self-actualization, because we are too busy trying to meet the needs of those lower categories. I call this Maslow's irony. Had we focused on self-actualization and on our true purpose, we would have discovered a way to earn enough to pay for the food and the shelter. With time, we would have gotten even better and earned more while following our true purpose, to afford the safety and the security. And as we grew in our true purpose even more, we would have become even more confident in ourselves and our true purpose. We would naturally attract people who are captivated with our purpose and our vision. And therefore, rather than altering our dreams for the approval of our friends or potential romantic partners, we would have attracted friends or potential romantic partners who believed in our purpose and believed in us. And eventually, our family, seeing us win the approval of others, would likely accept our purpose as well. And having won the acceptance of family and friends and romantic interests by following our purpose and being able to satisfy our needs for food, shelter, safety, and security by following our purpose, we would naturally grow in our self-esteem, as we would be doing that which we always were meant to do, and we would have become successful at it. We would be following a path that aligned with our true selves and true values, and people would notice our confidence and our worth, and we would gain their esteem. And their esteem would not be based upon a false image we had presented the world, but on our authentic selves, which would further increase our own self-esteem. And in this process, we would continually grow in our own authentic way. And rather than reach the fifth category of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, namely self-actualization, with a feeling of emptiness or doubt, we wouldn't even bother worrying about self-actualization, as this entire process would have been our self-actualization the entire time. And that is what I call Maslow's irony. We focus on self-actualization last when we should focus on it first. We build a lifestyle first out of fear that we must satisfy our lower needs, and only then, after satisfying our lower needs, do we consider self-actualization. And what we find is that by having built our lives around the fear that we must satisfy our lower needs, we ended up building ourselves an unsatisfying life, void of self-actualization. Rather, if we had focused on pursuing our self-actualization first, we would have built a life around our authentic selves, and it would have been a satisfying life, a life we treasured. And in the process, we would still have satisfied those lower needs that kept us back the entire time.